Well, I think the timing can be understood in that obviously Putin knew he was going to win another term as president, but I think he wants to reset the base of which defense is factored within to the Russian military machine. And basically, he has not been happy. Obviously, the war that was supposed to take a few weeks initially and was told by his armed forces that would take a few weeks has taken 2 years and then some to progress to a point where only now does he look like he's once again in perhaps a slight advantage over the Ukrainians. So there's that moment of the tide of battle appears to have changed. There's a small gap before Western, machinery starts getting and weapons starts getting to the Ukrainians. So you can expect the Ukrainians to sort of fight back pretty soon. But clearly, it's unusual given that it's in the middle of a war, and you'd expect somebody to come in with some military experience. But look, Andrei Belousov is a trusted inner circle member for Putin. I mean, he's somebody who's backed him for hardline stances. I think he was reportedly the only member of the inner circle to have enthusiastically backed, for example, the annexation of Crimea in 2014. It's quite clear that he shares, if you like, Putin's views about the war, the need to win the war, and about the broader narrative that the West is a threat and that Russia's enemies are encircling it. So, he's put someone in place who he can be entirely certain shares his views, which is helpful, I think, when you're obviously committed to war. So Andrei Borisov is going to be one of Putin's puppets because everyone in Russia is essentially one of Putin's puppets. The idea that somehow ministers have any independent control in any significant way, if the president is personally interested in their area, is for the birds. Quite clearly, Putin is running this war effort himself. He's the final decider, the arbiter. And it may be that Shoigu was clashing with him over certain things. From what we've seen over the last few years, Belousov is very much a yes man, but mainly because he shares Putin's views entirely. So if you're going to have someone in that key role, and you want to make sure you have somebody doing exactly what you want them to do, which you may term a puppet, you may as well appoint someone who already agrees with you. Well, I think it is a very dangerous offensive in the Kharkiv region right now. The Russians have made significant gains in a very short time. And that, I think, tells you the urgency of the need for Ukraine to receive those Western weapons and supplies that have been so long promised. I mean, if you think about it, Ukraine's been struggling with manpower issues. It's been struggling with ammunition and weaponry issues for some time now. And, it's only a matter of time when a superior numbered force and with, much more material can come and, kind of lay siege to your positions and gain, victories. So the point of this is it's a dangerous moment because if it continues, of course, they could make vast gains before the weaponry arrives. And that will, of course, make it much more difficult for Ukraine to launch successful counterattacks if territorial depth has been achieved by Russia. And again, having changed defense ministers at this time tells you that Putin sees this as a major, kind of turning point in the war. And he's determined to carry it through, not simply on the military level, but also by reforming the Ministry of Defense and making it much more, in his view, fit for purpose so that he can prosecute the war better for the next few months and can, essentially look at this as the start of his victory parade, as it were.